Good morning and happy Friday. Yin is on the menu. I'm sure you have all your props and everything ready. And we're just diving into our practice. My keyword for this week was connection and how everything is connected. And although this concept isn't new, we're invited to just take it to a different new level and recognizing not that we're all connected only, but we're all interconnected with everything happening on this planet. So not a new perspective, but maybe ponder a little bit different on how you feel and experience when you really take it all the way to how connections switch, change, evolve, grow, come together even more. So that's today's soul food and pondering upon part. So find your seat. We start with some breathing and then we get into our yin practice. So closing your eyes and receiving the breath with full awareness. Settling into your seat, anchoring through the sitting bones. Lifting through the crown of the head, lengthening. And then once you found that anchoring, arriving position, soften from within, but still continue to feel a lift through the crown of the head, keeping the shoulders relaxed, facial muscles relaxed. We're doing the 3-part breath before we even start invocation. So 3-part breath is one big breath in 3 parts. So we start on the inhale, breathing into lower abdomen, hold the breath for a second. Same breath, taking in more air, filling the mid-chest without shrugging the shoulders so everything stays relaxed. Hold the breath. Last part up all the way to the collarbones. Then we hold the breath again for a second and then empty the breath out. And you can do that with an open mouth or through your nose. So I want you to play with whatever you've done before. Maybe do something you haven't before and notice a difference. But that's the idea. 3 parts in one big breath with every split second in between holding it. So we do that first. Get back to your starting position, closing your eyes. Take a few breaths in and out through the nose. Notice difference between left or right nostril, which is absolutely normal. And then with the next inhale, breathe all the way into the pelvis. Keep everything else still. Hold the breath. Then from that same breath, zip up more air. Fill the mid-chest. Hold the breath. Then another little sip of air all the way up to the collarbones. Hold it there. And then sigh out. Breathe out. Open mouth or closed mouth. And then we start again. Deep breath in into the lower part of the abdomen. Hold the breath for a second. Then zip up, same breath, more air all the way to mid-chest. Expand. Hold the breath on top. And then all the way up to collarbones. Sit up tall and straight when you do that. Hold the breath. And then sighing out. Emptying all the way out. And then you start again. Breathing into the pelvis. Hold the breath, breathing into midsection, thoracic spine. Hold the breath, breathing all the way up to collarbones, and then sighing out altogether, emptying out yourself, and continue to keep that rhythm of the breath. Notice how the exhale can change in its length of how much air you can let go in the softest, smoothest way. At the bottom of your next exhale, drop the technique. Return to regular in and exhales through the nose. Notice any difference, any change. And then take your hands, rub them together, create that nice warmth we always create between the palm of your hands. And then place right hand on belly, left hand on heart, or place wherever you want to place the hands, where you know your body needs some extra attention, some extra awareness. The concept of universal connection. Nothing in the world stands by itself. Every object is a link in an endless chain and is thus connected with all the other links. And this chain of the universe has never been broken. It unites all objects and processes in a single whole and thus has a universal character. We cannot move so much as our little finger without disturbing the whole universe. The life of the universe, its history, lies in an infinite web of connections. Hands in front of heart space, Anjali Mudra. Quietly setting an intention, or what I invite you to is just have exactly that image, a web spun around the globe, all of us being connected on that. Just notice that. So with our intention, without your own personal intention, I invite you to maybe also add, to nurture, to serve that global connection in any kind of way with our first sound of Ohms. Deep breath in, 3 times. Bowing to your heart, place of love and light within you, all around you. Lowering the hands down to your thighs, roll the head up, open your eyes. Good morning again. And I forgot to mention something. One of my next doula moms is a single mom and she's in early labor, so I have to communicate with her if there's anything happening. So I will most likely peek onto the phone once in a while, or maybe even have to pick it up and talk to her real quick, but cross fingers that we're undisturbed for our practice time. So just that you know. Okay, let's start actually on our backs. Put a little cushion underneath if you want. Take a bolster or a pack of blankets right there. We start with Supta Baddha Konasana, bottom of the feet together on the bolster. Bring your behind close to the bolster. Lie into your back. If you have a sandbag, place that onto your lower abdomen. And if you have your blocks, then slide them sideways, if you want to, underneath the thighs. Sandbag can also be on your feet, so have options, whatever you like more. Sandbag on the feet helps you to ground through the legs, the feet. Sandbag on lower abdomen just feels nice for the back to get some weight. So personal decision making, up to you what you prefer. And then for the hands, you can choose any arm position. You can go back to right hand belly, left hand heart, or both hands on the abdomen. You can also bring them in cactus shape or spread them wide out, or maybe even further over your head. So finding a position where you notice a difference to a regular placement of your body. So creating a little slight difference in what you maybe normally do. But then same instructions. Can you completely let go, melt into the ground, soften? Take 5 to 10 nice long deep breaths, and when you do that, I want you to pay attention to how your lower back feels, and in particular your tailbone. Can you drop, even laying onto your back, into your pelvis, into your sitting bone area? And then also let the tip of the tailbone completely relax, and maybe have that image of lengthening. That's when I sometimes tease about the avatar tail. So relax the avatar tail completely onto the mat, and notice how that affects your glutes. You want to feel how everything becomes so much more soft. And then do a few butterfly flaps with your legs. Pull the blocks out. Straighten the left leg forward over the bolster, and straighten the right leg up to the sky. Hold with the hands behind the back of the thigh, flex the foot gently, spread the toes, and then pull the outer hip, right outer hip, down towards the mat. So that's more of an inner move than I would see you if you would be in my presence, or if I would be in your presence. But imagine that the seam of your pants are pulling down to the ground. Point and flex. Draw some ankle circles here with the foot. And then bring left foot back onto the bolster and cross right ankle on top of the left leg for eye of the needle. Two options here, either weaving the hands through and around the back of the thigh, or folding them in front of the knee. Play with what works better. Make sure that you're not rolling like this to the side. So you want to be on your back and feeling the spine in the middle of the mat, center of your mat. Push that right knee away from the chest. Gently, lovingly. And then gently release the hands. Now let the right leg cross over the left. This is reclined Gomukhasana, stacking the right knee on top of the left, and then hugging the knees into the chest. Place the hands on either of the knees. And then you can either pull the knees sideways apart, and you will feel that in all kinds of interesting places, or walk down towards the ankles and pull the heels to the outside of the hips, keeping the upper body, the shoulders, relaxed. Couple more breaths. And try to soften into the hold. Now release the hands. Keep the legs as they are. You still have your block on either side. You can put the left foot back onto the bolster or on blankets or ground, and then drop the legs as they are over to the left for an easy turn twist. Arms out to the sides, head rolls gently over your right shoulder. So now relax all the way, especially here into the top leg. On your next breath, turn your head to the left, take your right arm to the left. And then from there, core muscles engaged, slowly roll onto your back, uncross, hug the knees gently into your chest, straighten up both legs, point and flex. And then put right foot down onto the bolster, left ankle crosses on top of the right knee. Picking up the right leg, fold the hands around or in front of the knee. Push that left knee away from the chest and keep the upper body as relaxed as possible. Gaze is up to the ceiling. Breath flows gently in and out. Relax the hands. Put the foot onto the bolster. Let the knee slide all the way. And then pick the legs back up. Put the hands on top of each knee. Pull the knees gently sideways. And here in this pose, again, notice how your back feels. Spread those sitting bones while you pull the knees gently sideways apart or walk down towards the ankles. And then gently release the arms, bring them out to the sides, right foot back onto the bolster, then drop the knees as they are to the right, let them rest onto the block. Turn your head over to the left, drop gently into the left hip. Let the breath flow. And then finding your breath, turning the head first to the right, then take your left arm to the right, engage the core muscles, roll gently onto your back, uncross, straighten right leg forward, left leg up to the sky, fold the hands behind the back of the thigh, flex the foot gently, spread the toes, push through the mound of the toes up to the sky while you pull your left outer hip down. And point and flex through the left leg, foot, some ankle music. Reverse direction. And then very slowly lower the leg down. Inhale, reach with both arms over your head, sigh out on the exhale. Bringing the feet back onto the bolster. Hug the knees into your chest. Roll onto your side. And then come back to seated position. And then we actually set up for the next little sequence. Let's see. Grab a blanket. We're doing a part of the pose we did on the back. We're now doing in a forward fold. So you can either sit on a blanket or on a bolster, flat. I'll play with a blanket today. And have your blocks handy as well. So we're revisiting half Gomukhasana. You want to fold a blanket for underneath the left leg. Sit on the very edge of the blanket behind your tush. Cross the right knee on top of the left. Once you have that, you feel that there's a slight turn to the left, and we want to bring us back to straight. So hands down, lift the hip, pull the right outer hip further back. That already will increase any sensation. Just grab a sip of water. And then before you bow down, grab your two blocks. Feel the lift up first, and then the bowing forward. So that's where you stack your blocks. Find a position either here on the knee or down on the leg where you can rest. We can easily get into the forward fold. And if you have any weight, you can put that either here on your ankle, on your left extended leg, or anywhere else where you found a place, because creativity rules, especially since you do your practice at home. Allow yourself a handful of nice long deep breaths in the pose. Recognize parts you're most aware of, areas. And then very slowly feel through the crown of the head again, the lifting up part. And then we take it from here into Upavista, wide spreaded legs. So you actually take the legs out as wide as you can. Grab that one blanket and put it under your leg. And then a second one to put under the second leg, if you like. So this is all up to you in how you want to set up. Then again, grab the flesh of the seat apart. And for the forward fold, you can pick and choose all kinds of scenarios in how to set up. You can just use the blocks and rest on your forearms or stack them underneath your forehead like this. Or if you want to keep your head a little up, then you can rest the head into your hands. Or if you want to go with more props, depending on what you have at home, you can obviously set up the bridge, which would be a forward fold over the bolster like this, or a ramp where you take the high block, medium, and then set up the bolster in front and rest from here into any kind of comfortable position of your choice. So whatever works for you, give it a try. I have to text my pregnant mom. She just reached out. It's all good. It looks like I'll make it through class, but she needs some assistance on posing. So I will give her some tips on her positions while we do our stuff here. At 11:11, sacred time. Connecting to your breath. Feel the lift again through the crown of the head. And from here, bring yourself back up into upright position. And then we switch to the other side with half Gomukhasana. Blanket under the extended leg and folding the knee on top of each other and making sure to not turn too much, pulling the hip back, and from here bowing forward over the extended leg, using your blocks to rest on. Couple more breaths. And then very slowly lifting, reaching back up, uncrossing, bringing the feet as wide as your mat, windshield wipering it out. And I would like to offer a little bit of a back opening since we've done a bunch of forward folds. And what you can do is have one half folded blanket for your head and the second blanket also half folded right behind your lower back, and then a bolster for underneath the legs. Put the blanket right behind the lower back. Then lay over the blanket. Wiggle yourself into the pose, molding yourself into the pose. Sandbag can be onto lower abdomen, arms out to the sides, palms facing up. Take again a few nice long deep breaths into the lower back, and maybe on the exhale, sighing out with a sound. Bringing your feet slowly back onto the bolster, and if you want to massage out the back, cross your arms and then just roll from side to side. Do that a few times, maybe adding a few extra sound effects. And with the feet on the bolster or the ground, lift the hips, pull that blanket out underneath you. Back down onto the ground. And then bring the feet as wide as the bolster is. Drop the knees to the left, and there is still a block. You can again rest the first knee on, and then take your left foot and put it on top of the right knee. And that's actually where you want to take the block to the side to get yourself deeper into this opening here. Arms out to the side, head rolls over to the right. Turn your head to the left. Bring the foot off the knee. Bring the legs back up. Feel if you're still in center position. Feet remain as wide as the bolster. Drop them over to the right. You can either rest just like this. If you want to go further, right foot now on top of the left knee. Arms out to the side. Gaze over your left shoulder. Turn your head to the right. Bring your foot down off the knee. Bring your feet back onto the bolster. Wiggle your hips out, your legs. Maybe hug them, the knees one more time into your chest. And then you're all getting ready to set up for Shavasana. Extending your legs out over the bolster. Do anything else you need to add before you get into your deepest part of your relaxation. And then allow yourself to dive right into the mat, the ground, the earth. Feel like you're extending through your fingertips to your toes, through the crown of the head up, backwards, through the bottom of the feet forward, and then into all the space in between. Let the eyes rest heavy yet gently in the eye socket. Ears relaxed, mouth relaxed, tongue rests between the teeth. There's an ease washing over you. And although you're laying at your house, in whatever room of your choice, extended out like a radiant star by yourself, remember that we're all connected any moment. And feel that connection while you're diving deeper into your corpse pose. Connecting to your breath, deepening in and exhale. Returning to a beautiful Friday afternoon, monsoonish atmosphere out there. Wiggling fingers and toes. Roll the head gently from side to side. Hugging the knees towards your chest. Notice how your spine feels. Then roll again into fetal side resting pose. Pause. The concept of universal connection. Nothing in the world stands by itself. Every object is a link in an endless chain and is thus connected with all the other links. And this chain of the universe has never been broken. It unites all objects and processes in a single whole and thus has a universal character. We cannot move so much as our little finger without disturbing the whole universe. The life of the universe, the history lies in an infinite web of connections, and we're all part of that. Use both hands. Let the wings attach to your heart lift you back up. Eyes remain closed. Hands return back in front of heart space. So even in this time of where we're not physically close, we're still and always connected. And we're invited to actually tune in more, sense, recognize, remember that that connection never changes. Last quote for today is by Eckhart Tolle. He says, "Awareness is conscious connection with universal intelligence. Another word for it is presence, consciousness without thought." We'll seal everything in for today with one beautiful connected sound of Om. Deep breath in. I'm thinking all about you. Bowing to your heart. May all beings be happy. May all be freed from suffering. May everyone be prosperous, may no one ever be unhappy, and may we all live together in peace. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you a great weekend. Namaste. And we have a few announcements, or one announcement. Brady is doing a workshop online on August 1st from 2 to 4, the Fundamental 5. He will cover the 5 basic, most important poses we practice in yoga, and I can guarantee you it'll be a bunch of fun. So check it out, sign up, and learn even more than you already know. To a beautiful weekend, and I'll take all your energy with me into this birth. Bye.